We are in our daily offerings of the Psalms from our home up to Psalm 71. Psalm 71 is considered to be a continuation of Psalm 70, which was very short. So why weren't they just put together? And one of the reasons, I think, when you look at them is that Psalm 70 was from a younger version of the psalmist in Psalm 71. And, as a lot happens as you grow older, there's a lot of maturing. And as we said yesterday in that very short but beautiful Psalm 70, the psalmist was still kind of immaturely bargaining with God. You do this for me, God, and everybody will see how great you are. And it'll help you, God, in generations to come. Which, that's not, God's not on, not a team God, right? There's something much deeper that we're talking about here when we talk about something that is greater than ourselves. And so Psalm 71 really takes us into old age and the perspective of someone who's no longer bargaining with God, but is still struggling with what it means to have faith and what to ask for. What to ask for. Boker Tov. Boker Tov, everyone. Melissa. You'll love this, Melissa. It's justice. What is it that this old man now is looking for? Oh yeah, compassion and mercy, we need them. But this guy's looking for tzedek. This person, this singer of the Psalms, this musician that plays the oud, is looking for tzedek, looking for justice here. Because, as we said many times, no justice, no peace. So let's
Justice and mercy.
Can't have one without the other, right? So let's
That's how I created the world.
In balance, right?
Justice and mercy. And tzedek. And emet. That's how I created the world. Prayer for healing.
It's become our custom to offer a Misha Berach, to call on our ancestors for healing. Oh, healing for Sam, who's doing well. For Jack. For Lewis, we pray that Lewis, you're healing from COVID. For all the people who have COVID, for Corinne and her baby, for those frontline workers. May the vaccination really protect them. And for all those people who are suffering from cancers and Alzheimer and COVID-19. Let's hold them in our hearts as we offer this Misha Berach, this healing prayer.
Refuat hanefesh, urefuat haguf. Refuat hanefesh, urefuat haguf, for the healing of the spirit, the healing of the body, for those we know, for those we don't know. On my right, the angel Michael. On my left, the angel Gabriel. In front of me, the angel Raphael, Uriel. Behind me, the angel Raphael. Above my head, 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 Shekhinah. Michael, who is like God, Gabriel. God is my strength. Uriel, Uriel, God is my light. Raphael, God is my healer. Above my head, above my head, above my head, above my head. Shekhinah Tehel. Baruch atah Adonai. Blessed are you, Rofei HaCholim, great healer. Amen.
A prayer for learning. May our learning open us up to possibility. May our learning give us the kind of lift we need to respond in the holiest of ways to these challenging times.
וערבנה אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל. Make the words of your teachings pleasant on our lips, the lips of all of those who come into our circle, so we can spend a time in learning for its pleasure. נהיה אנחנו וצאצאים וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל. כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה, so that all of us can spend a time in learning for the purity, for its own sake, for its purity, and for its implications in our lives, the works of our hands. Ma'aseh yadeinu, ma'aseh yadeinu, konanehu, konanehu. Baruch atah Adonai melamed Torah le'amu Yisrael. Blessed are you who teaches in this fashion.
Amen. There is no typical beginning to this psalm, which is why many think it is a continuation of Psalm 70. But, you know, it jumps right to the truth that we've been given since Psalm 1. It begins, B'cha Adonai, in you. I am in you. I mean, in old age, I think we realize that we are part of something greater than ourselves, and to that we will return one day. It's just a matter of time. So, B'cha Adonai, in you, I find myself. And, you know, what does it mean not to be deceived? It means, I think, to not think that I'm separate from anything else. You know, that we are ultimately part of something bigger than ourselves. We are connected. And I think this psalmist sees themselves as a bridge between generations and laying out a kind of a plan of faith, of preserving faith through tzedek, through justice, that isn't dependent, again, on yesterday's psalmists, the younger persons thinking that you can bargain with God like Jacob did when he was, you know, still so young, only realizing later in life that there's no if then, it's only and, you know, it's only we're part of the story unfolding. So in you I have taken my refuge, and I shall not be deceived forever. Because I know ultimately you will deliver me in your justice.
That's Elaine.
Justice. Uh-oh. What happened? Oh, there we go. In our justice, and you will let me escape. This anxiety, the traps of the material world, the enemies that are real, the people who would use us for their purposes. You will help me escape from them. So listen and save me. Verse 3. Be my sheltering rock. Be my sheltering rock, to which I may come home at all times. You have given commandments that lead me to salvation. The mitzvot are ways to draw godliness into the world. You've given me the structure, the way to live my life. Thinking about the poor, right? All those commandments that lead to leveling the playing field, that lead to equity, that lead ultimately to salvation. Because I can count on that. I can count on you as my rock and my fortress to have the right teachings. So God, let me escape. Verse 4, from the might of the lawless.
From their hand,
those
from
who
their
don't
arm,
pay attention to these rules, right? From the hand of the enslaver.
They're making me drink vinegar.
Yeah. And of him who would cloud happiness.
Pickles. They're throwing pickles at me.
Right. But this guy he's so smart here. He's so wise. He
He
knows that there are people that are out there to cloud our happiness.
You are my hope.
To take away our hope. So we can't let people do that, right?
Tikvati. You are my hope.
Beautiful.
They're throwing pickles at me, and you're my hope.
For you have been my hope, who shows mercy even as he metes out justice. You have been my trust from my youth.
Well,
I may not have known it.
I was a kid.
I mean, we're going to go even further, right? We're going to go back into his mother's womb.
What did I know?
When I was cast upon you for support from birth.
Who's going to pay your rent, God?
You have sent me apart from my mother's womb.
He didn't realize that God had been paying his rent all along.
That's right. It has ever been through you that my praises come, I don't know why I kept the faith even when I'm broken. I don't know why I kept the faith even when I saw such suffering. How is that possible? But it's because we're in you, God. We're in you. Verse 7, so I became as a miracle to teach the multitude.
I'm a wonder. I'm a wonder.
Yeah.
I'm a wonder
boy.
boy.
Remain my source
wonder
of strength.
boy.
David, even old, seen as a wonder, right? Because he really did. He fought the enemies for a long time. I mean, he gave in to them sometimes, to his own inner enemy, but he fought a lot of enemies. He suffered, for the pain that he saw. Verse 8, so my mouth was filled with the praise of your mighty acts. I never stopped talking about the parting of the sea. I never stopped talking about, the miracles, even when I didn't have them for myself. To me, each day was a glorification of you. Somehow, in the midst of it all, I look back and I see that I got
beauty. Yeah. I see beauty.
Yeah,
I see Tiferet.
Right? Yeah.
That's the middle pole, the organizing middle, balancing pole. Tiferet. It's here.
It's really cold today in St. Louis. Yesterday was warm, and I planted bulbs. because, and as I was planting them, I said, "Oh, God, I hope I'm here to see them in the spring, because that's beauty. Nature gives us beauty to look forward to, right? A glorification of each day. That's our challenge, right? To find something beautiful in
That's
each
how
day.
I created the world.
Cast me not off at the time of old age when my strength fails. Do not forsake me. Don't let me get
Chesed,
lost
Gevura,
in my anxiety, in my anxiousness that
Chesed,
comes with old age as
Gevura,
well.
with
For my
Tiferet.
enemies say it of
That's
me,
how I
and they're watching
created the world.
for my soul. They have agreed in council to challenge this, right? To say God has forsaken him. Look
The
at him,
longer
he's an
we're
old
reading
man,
these
he's
Psalms,
sick.
the longer that song gets,
I know, that's right.
We've got lots of principles now that have been built into the world.
That's right.
Chesed, Gevura, giving,
Tiferet,
withholding,
Tzedek.
Tiferet, beauty, Tzedek, Emet,
Emet, yeah.
Chesed, and Emet.
Mm-hmm. And in the heart of it is Tiferet, is beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's
It's a good thing we didn't record that song yet.
That's right. To say, verse 11, I know they're out there saying, look at me, I'm old, I'm frail.
God has left me.
Yeah, it looks, and they can say that. They can say, ugh, he's a loser. God left him.
There's
none
no
left
help.
nobody's going to help him.
The dude is
guy.
helpless.
Verse 12, oh God, do not be far from me.
I
know you're not far. And yesterday we had this too. Make haste.
Make
haste. Make haste. That verse 2 that's offered in Advent, right? Do this quickly. Make haste.
Hurry.
Come on, hurry up. Let them that hinder my soul feel deceived and vanish.
The adversaries.
Let them that seek my hurt be covered.
The adversaries of my soul. Shame. King David has no problem identifying the adversaries.
That's right. He knows who his enemies are.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear. He's had a lot of practice, Saul. But remember how he turned around Saul's heart. Okay, here's the switch. Va'ani.
As for me.
Verse 14. Va'ami. Va'ani tamid. I will always hope continually.
I will always hope.
There's always hope. Always hope. Always hope. I guess if he can do it, we can do it, right? I shall hope continually. I mean, he went through it all. He sinned. He lost a child. He was the youngest child of many who was often overlooked. And there are no excuses, he rose to find his purpose. So I hope that my mouth shall continue to tell of your merciful justice. It shall do it even if you do nothing for me. See, no bargains here, right? He's spiritually matured. I will continue to tell the story of your merciful justice and of your salvation every day. Even though I'm not perfect, I'll do my best, right? To tell your story. 16. Even were I to elaborate on your works and your omnipotence, your all-encompassing wonder, God, I know that you mete out justice with mercy. Sharon says, how do you explain the turning in verse 14? I think it's the point of his old age. It's the pivot of his saying, I'm not bargaining anymore for your justice, for your love, for your compassion, for your mercy, for your beauty. I'm not bargaining. I'm just telling it.
He pivots in most of these psalms. Most of these psalms.
They all have this va'ani, right? Where you lead up to the ultimate teaching, what he's going to share from his experience in his life.
The world is not his story.
It's not his
part
story.
of the world's story.
Yeah. Say that again. That's just right.
Let's keep going here because it's long.
Oh gosh. Okay. Verse 16. Even if I were to elaborate upon the works of your omnipotence, God, I trust that you're meting out justice and mercy. And you know what? I'm gonna remember the merciful justice alone. Right? I'm gonna tell those stories because who needs to know? Everybody knows the other stuff. Verse 17. God, you have taught me from my youth, even to this day. I declare your wondrous works. In other words, look at how old I am and how much I've lived through. I think about the Holocaust survivors, who choose life every day. I just heard about the grandmother of a wonderful cantor who works to end the death penalty, and he said his grandmother is 100 years old, a Holocaust survivor. She survived so much, and he still says she chooses life every day, even unto old age and the hoary head, God. So don't forsake me, not until I have declared the strength of my arm to my generation. Yeah, I have to tell your story, right?
I have to tell the story.
Your wonder, you're filling all the space to all that are to come through the way I live my life. I think David's saying here, or the psalmist is saying, verse 19, for your merciful justice reaches into the high heaven. You who have done great things, O God. Mi chamocha. Mi chamocha. Who is like you? Nothing like you. Nothing like this.
I've seen a lot of sorrow
that we are a part of, right?
I've seen tsuris,
the presence that has caused me to suffer many and grievous troubles. But you revive me again, right? Tashuv, like tshuva, right? Return me. Let me tashuv in this one, right? Twice we have this notion of the possibility of turning. Who has caused me to suffer many and grievous troubles? You will give me tshuva again and again and lead me once more from the heaving depths of the earth. In other words, we've been here together before, God. I have faith that there's still hope, that you will yet increase my greatness. And again, turning, your presence in my life will comfort me, even in my old age.
I also.
another little switch here. So I will give thanks for your faithfulness with the
with every oud voice.
Instrument of plaintive sound. Then, okay, with the oud. How do I express it?
Music, I also play a little harp, little violin for you too.
I will sing praises to you, God. I'll keep singing. Remember that Muriel Ruckhauser poem? She imagines that we will sing. We will stop in the middle of the sea, and we will sing until all the lands sing to each other. I think that's what David's doing here, or the psalmist is doing. He's saying, keep singing those songs of freedom.
I'll sing it from my soul.
I think about the protests. I think about movements where people sing. They just keep singing. It's the music that carries us like the river. My lips will continue to rejoice because I sing praises to you again and again. From my soul, because my soul has been redeemed. And then finally, verse 24, my tongue also shall then tell of your merciful justice. See, we start with tzedek. We start with that justice. There is no peace without justice. The justice every day. Look for justice every day, for they are deceived. They feel unmasked. Those that are seeking the hurt of those who are most vulnerable, the elderly, the poor, those who don't have a seat in the tables of power. And that's 71 with 28 days to go for a change in the tables of power in this nation.
Psalm 71, Ood, human voice. In you, God, I have found myself without shame. Lean in your ear, save me, be for me a rock. I wasn't home always. Keep me from vinegar. You have been my hope for support. I look to you. From the belly of my mother, I was like a miracle for many, my mouth filled up with praise. All day, beauty. Don't let me go in my old age. If my strength fails me, don't leave me.
Right.
My enemies speak of me, my soul protected. They might say, God has left him. Oh God, don't be far away from me. They try to hurt me. Let them stay away from my soul. Always hope, more hope. My mouth will tell righteousness, though I didn't know how to tell it. Were I to begin with, I would mention righteousness alone. God, you have taught me. I was a kid until now I can tell it. I am a wonder boy. And even to old age, don't leave me until I can express it. As for me, I tell the story every day. Up to the heights, you have done great things. Who is like you? I have seen troubles. Revive me. Bring me back from the depths of the earth.
Yeah.
Turn toward me. Comfort me. I thank you for the instrument. Ood, human voice. I sing with a harp to you. I'll sing praises from my soul. From within, righteousness. You have redeemed my soul from the lost and found. December 24th,
I love that.
2020. Teeling on the ceiling.
That's great. Redeem our souls from the lost and found. What a wonderful psalm, once again. And so we wish all of our friends who celebrate Christmas a good and a healthy and a happy and a merry Christmas, a meaningful Christmas this year, when I know a lot of people won't have their normal celebrations. Maybe the country will slow down for just a moment on this day when things are closed, and give us time to really think about
With tzedek, with righteousness.
how we are a part of that tzedek.
That's how I created the world.
Well, we'll be
Justice and mercy.
back. That's how we started.
Justice and mercy. That's how I created the world.
Maybe call someone who is in those later years. Listen to their wisdom.
That's how I created the world. Justice and mercy. Justice and mercy.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Merry Christmas again to those of you who celebrate
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.